Rogers does as well.
1, 2, 3. Henry, stop counting.
Welcome on to the Trader! Today's destination is NPC Station, as I will recap round 9 of the NPC. Grab your tickets, sit back, relax, as the train is about to leave the station. Toot! This round was a mixture of teams staying in it till the bitter end, and some teams, while they're out of the competition, they still showed some passion and played for pride. So, join me, Trons and Tronettes, as we've got some mouth-watering games upon us. And we start with one of the greatest games of all time, Hawke's Bay taking on Auckland. Game 1, Hawke's Bay versus Auckland. Prediction: did not quite crack my plus 15, but Hawke's Bay still got the win. Synopsis of the game: dominant is the best way to describe this performance, as sensational tries were scored, innovative moves were pulled off, and epic breakdown and turnover work was done as Hawke's Bay hit the gas from minute 1. Some crazy interplay and awesome pick and go scenarios also impressed me. They were exceptional, were Hawke's Bay in those two areas. Auckland had their opportunities, but just couldn't capitalise on the momentum, as penalties got the worst of them, unfortunately. And they did have a couple sniffs in the second half, but after Hawke's Bay out in the final bowl, it was no use. Well done, Hawke's Bay, on the victory. Condolences, Auckland, on the loss. You guys really tried. So MVP and try of the match. My MVP award goes to Zan Sullivan. He was involved in every attacking move and was great with the high ball. I was really impressed with his performance. My match-up and try of the game awards go to Devon Flanders. He had a great match-up with Sam Hainsworth powerful as those two provided some iconic moments and could not be separated, and as two tries were brilliantly set up and all he had to do was score. I was really blown away by them. Well done, Magpies, and next game we have Southend taking on Tasman. Game 2, Southend v Tasman. Prediction was right on the money as I had Tasman by 40 pass. Synopsis of the game. Electric tries were scored, exceptional set-piece work was done, and some incredible rack and breakdown work was established as Tasman did most of the damage in the first half. Some of their moves they pulled off were unbelievable, and their backs really gelled as a unit, and some incredible decisions were made by the leadership group. Southend put together a valuable effort though in the second half to make this a game of two halves, really pulling some magic of their own, and some of their line breaks were incredible. Tasman got really pressured and towards the end of it, but it was not enough to keep them from getting the win. Well done, Tasman, on the victory. Condolences, Southend. MVP and try of the match. Both awards go to Kyron Timothy as he was very potent out on that right edge and had a memorable performance. His tries were just brilliantly set up by his teammates, and some of the acrobatics he pulled off were unbelievable. And yeah, he also had some exceptional runs too. Matchup of the game goes to Tomasi Maka and Nick Sushon as those two put together some mesmerizing moments and didn't give each other an inch. It was a matchup to behold. Next game we have Taranaki versus Wellington. Game 3, Taranaki versus Wellington. Prediction does not go to plan as I had Wellington by 8. Synopsis of the game. Trailblazing tries were scored, epic defensive work was established, and crazy interplay was on show as in the first half penalties aplenty mounted up and sloppy errors came to light as both teams had opportunities but just couldn't capitalise on them, and I'll leave it at that. Second half is where it's at though, as Taranaki just unleashed. Creative line breaks were made. The outside backs were just dangerous as hell, and the pick and go scenarios along with the breakdown work was just phenomenal, as the holes Taranaki created for themselves were just awesome as well. Wellington tried to claw their way back, but they left it too little, too late. Well done to the Mackie on the win. Condolences Wellington on the loss. MVP and try of the match. MVP award goes to Jesse Paliti as he led the forwards very well in the set piece and was just a menace to which Wellington could not contain. He had a good matchup with Motudu Pataya as the two of them didn't give each other an inch, and they provided some menacing moments too. Try of the game goes to Logan Crowley as his teammate Josh Jacob set him up beautifully, and he was just there to score it. Was blown away immensely by this try. Next game we have Otago versus North Harbour. Game 4, Otago versus North Harbour. Prediction was right on the dot as I had Otago by 9. Synopsis of the game. Some explosive tries were scored, some incredible set-piece work was executed, and some crazy interplay was on show as the two teams traded blows quite early. While Otago caught North Harbour off guard with some of their outside backs plays, North Harbour just used their backs to perfection and capitalised on the momentum that they had. But unfortunately, some mistakes and dumb decisions crept in as they allowed Otago to get back into the game and retake the lead through some sensational work at the breakdown. North Harbour pulled off some outrageous plays towards the end, but just couldn't do it. Well done, Otago, on the victory. Condolences, Harbour. MVP and try of the match. Liam Coltman gets these two awards as he was absolutely exceptional. Came on and did the damage early. Was really impressed with his performance, and Wegevic, his try was beautifully executed too. Was really impressed by that. Cam Miller and Cam Hill get the matchup of the game as those two were completely inseparable, and they did some phenomenal kicking. It was quite the matchup. Next game, Bay of Plenty v Waikato. Game 5, Bay of Plenty versus Waikato. My prediction was over 20 plus as Bay of Plenty still got the win. Synopsis of the game. Decisive tries were scored, unbelievable moves were pulled off, and some exceptional tactics were deployed as Bay of Plenty annihilated Waikato from start to finish. They really overpowered them in the set piece. Some incredible breakdown and ruck work was done, and the outside backs were potent as normal. Waikato had their opportunities, but they just couldn't capitalize on them. All they could do was just watch. I really felt sorry for them. All they had going for them was their defense. They had a sniff in the second half, but by then it was no use. Well done, Bay of Plenty on the win. Condolences, Waikato on the loss. MVP and try of the match. Lewis Cashmore gets this award as he led Bay of Plenty around the park brilliantly, and he did some great kicking as well. His matchup with Aaron Cruden was absolutely divine, as they could not be separated and traded some overwhelming high ball kicks. Try of the game, it was a case of right place, right time for Fihi Whingianga Novu, as some great work was done by his teammates, and he popped up in places where Waikato couldn't touch him. They were really tries to behold. Next game we have Counties Manukau versus Manawatu. Game 6, Counties Manukau versus Manawatu. Prediction: I cracked it as Counties won by 35. Synopsis of the game: unmissable tries were scored, excellent set plays were executed, and awesome set piece work was done as both teams unleashed some razzle dazzle in the first half. Some unimaginable moves were pulled off, and pick and goal scenarios also impressed me, as Manawatu really put some pressure on Counties Manukau. But in the second half, they just fell off, as some absolutely phenomenal backs work was done, and some injection off the bench was perfectionised, as Counties Manukau started to assert some dominance. Don't get me wrong, towards the end of the game, Manawatu had flashes of brilliance, but they just couldn't pull it off. Well done, Counties Manukau on the win. Condolences, Manawatu. MVP and try of the match. MVP goes to Ioane Moananu, as he had a great performance, catching Manawatu off guard with every chance he got, and just doing some excellent line out throwing. Matchup of the game goes to Gibson Popawari and Nani Laumavi, as the two of them could not be separated and provided some menacing moments. Gibson Popawari also gets my try of the game, as he did some brilliant solo work, and his teammates just got behind them and really helped them out. Those tries were really something to behold. Next game, Northland taking on Canterbury. Game 7, Northland v Canterbury. Prediction goes out the window as I had Canterbury by 15, but don't worry, it's fine. Synopsis of the game. Explosive tries were scored, delightful defensive work was done, and crazy offloads were made as Canterbury got off to a sensational start, putting threats in the outside backs, which really caught Northland napping early. But through it all, Northland kept themselves in the game in the first half through some delightful hits and decisive turnovers. Honestly, they couldn't be stopped, but the Taniwha had opportunities in the first half, but just couldn't turn the momentum their way. In the second half, though, Northland turned it up another gear as some sensational forward work and some injection off the bench gave them the spark they needed. This went to golden point, but Canterbury missed a penalty and mistakes started creeping in. I'm gathered that this one ended in a draw. MVP and try of the match. Honestly, I could only choose one. Terrell Pater had an awesome performance. He led Northland single-handedly and his match-up with George Reeves was absolutely nuts. And those two provided some menacing moments. Try of the game goes to Manasa Mataele as he did some crafty work in the lead up to it and just could not be touched. It was a real try and a half. Next stop, outro station. Alright, drums and trunettes, we have reached our destination station, so please take your belongings as you walk off the train and onto the platform. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and do all that other malarkey as it really helps me out. Be cool, stay awesome, and as I always love to say, be kind to one another, right? It's a simple, how are you going or are you okay, can make anyone a happy chappy. With that, I will see you all next time for another vid. Thank you for watching. Ciao! And just stay awesome wherever you are in the world, will you? Ciao!